Starting off with Rams versus Panthers. Rams are a 10.5-point favorite. What is your bet that you like for this game?
Let's go safe in the playoffs. You want to be balanced in the playoffs. If you're an offense, you don't want to be one-dimensional, and that means Kyren Williams for the Rams on the good team versus the mid team, the Carolina Panthers, will score anytime touchdown, -130. I love the value on that. That's a straight I'll take. I'll throw that in any parlay that I want to build out for this game. I think he gets in, and that's because everyone's expecting Devontae Adams to get in. Everyone's expecting Puka Nacua to get in. But guess what? The Panthers have a great defensive backfield. Like, Mike Jackson is going to take 2 touchdowns off the board in the red zone for Carolina. Now, they still might score, but as a bettor, I can't watch that happen like confidently and be like, oh, they're going to get another one back, which is possible. It's a great red zone offense from the Rams, but you run the ball when you're in the red zone. Kyren Williams has been Mr. Dependable for that team. He's getting in. I like that play. It's a safe play. I'm not going really risky on this one.
Well, I obviously have no issues with that because that's in line with the pick that I have. I'm all over Kyren Williams, over 77.5 rushing and receiving yards in this game. He's 12 of his last 15 when it comes to going over on that specific total. And Kyren Williams, as you're talking about here, they're gonna want to lean on the run game. They always lean on the run game. One of the things, too, that I think generally is very true about playoff games, maybe towards the end of the season, you might not give the rock to your lead running back as often if you have a clear sense of where you're sitting in the playoff picture. But when you get to the playoffs, you're running the football.
Yeah.
You are leaning on your best playmakers on the ground. And Kyren Williams has also been such a great playmaker as a receiver, too. So anytime touchdown and also going with him hitting the over on rushing and receiving, it feels like a no-brainer. Go ahead.
It's also the playoffs, and players are going to want to hit a lot, and players are going to have – the teams are going to have to lean on their running backs who can take the hits. I like the Kyren play. Also, it could be a receiving touchdown for me where maybe the Panthers have Christian Roseboom covering him.
My hand on Christian Roseboom.
I think he's a little bit faster than Christian Roseboom, so that means he could beat him to the goal line. I work through the ways that Kyren scores. It's either dive inside, and bounce it out, or beat Christian Roseboom to the pylon on a flat pass.
The other thing with this, by the way, for the straight spread, 10.5 is so big. I feel like considering the Panthers won the last time that they played, they either keep it close or they get blown out. I have no pulse on this game on what the score ends up being. Is it the same sense for you?
Yeah, I wanted to stay away from it because the Rams 10.5 versus the Panthers on paper, it's like, oh, I love that. Or not, I don't love it, but it makes sense. The Rams are such a good team. The Panthers eked their way in with a sloppy one versus the Bucks. So you think that's going to go like that, but I mean, the Panthers play hard. The Panthers are physical. They're more physical than you think they are. They're a smidge more dynamic than you think they are, and they're fourth quarter killers, which I hate for spreads because if the Rams are up, say they're up 24-10, and you're going into the fourth quarter, you're like, oh, they're coasting, and they get the ball to start the quarter. I'm thinking that Carolina somehow gets back in it and makes it close enough under that spread. So just because of what they've done in the second halves this year, I do not like the 10.5.
All right, perfectly reasonable. Next game that we've got on Saturday, Packers -1.5 against the Bears. Pick I'm going with here. I'm going to go Cole Kmet over 1.5 receiving yards. He has 6 straight games where he's registered at least 2 receptions. And I think that in this game, it's going to require a lot of gritty extra plays. And Cole Kmet's the type of guy who maybe everything else isn't opening up. He ends up leaking out. He ends up catching a couple of passes in this game. We just need him to hit over 2. Kmet has been really underrated in this offense. His production is not the same as Colston Loveland's been down the stretch, but I think that Kmet could end up hitting on this considering his recent stretch.
You're using a little sneaky strategy that I like here, which is rolling with the second string guys and the third string guys just for the depth issues, because every team in the playoffs has like a really good player starting on their number one threat. For the Bears in the tight end room, that'd be Colston Loveland. So if they're really locking him up, then Kmet could be the leak guy. Yeah, that's fine with me. I have similarly Luther Burden, 50-plus receiving yards. He's eclipsed 60 yards in 4 out of the last 6 games, twice in 35 and 37 yards, and he also had like a 138-yard game in there as well. So I like it. I like this bet because it seems like he's emerging as becoming more of a factor in the Bears offense. I think he's getting along with Caleb Williams well. Betting on DJ Moore is like it's a panic attack every time. Betting on Roma Dunze, panic attack every time. Luther Burden, kind of been Mr. Consistency for me.
Yep.
Kind of been a guy that I can lean on. Caleb doesn't really cool on him, or at least he hasn't at the end of the season. Those two, the 1 and 2 receivers, I don't know if they like their quarterback and vice versa. They should, but I don't know given how sporadic they are. I think Luther Burden's a safe pick here.
The other thing too with this, by the way, I also just generally like the thought of the Packers winning this game. I feel like these two teams have been on completely different trajectories. And I know that the last week of the season, they lost to the Lions, but it's the last week of the season. I think that this Bears team, as we saw the last time that they played, they've got a little magic in them. They've got a little bit of juice that they can pull out a crazy victory no matter what the timing is, what the scoring is, whatever's happening. Momentum seems to be flowing in their favor. Packers, on the other hand, have just been screeching to the finish line just to get to the playoffs. So, whatever reason, I don't have a lot of faith in the Packers here, and I think that the Bears can capably get it done.
I think so too, but you know what can't get out of my mind thinking of the Packers in the playoffs is how they did Dallas in Jordan Love's like first or second year starting, where they just walked into Dallas and they walked them down, and they had 28 points in the first quarter. They had a huge pick six, and they took over the game in a quarter. And that kind of freaks me out because I think that's always there. And Packers fans, they've been suffering because they know that's always there. And they're like, why haven't we won more games? Why can't we do this all the time? It's tough. It's tough to do that. It's a hard league to get a hit in. But that freaks me out because the Bears don't go to the playoffs. The Bears don't win playoff games. This is brand new for them. I don't know. Ben Johnson's probably going to dial it up. I bet he does. This is a great matchup, and I can't believe they're sticking it on the streamer.
Oh, no. Is it?
Prime.
Oh, it's on Prime. Oh,
Yeah.
It's not a Peacock.
No.
Do we have any Peacock games?
No. The only streaming game is Packers Bears.
That has to be one of the worst things that has occurred is that these big important games end up getting stuck on Prime is fine because I've got Prime. I think a lot of people naturally have Prime. I think that like if it's on ESPN, it's on CBS, whatever. Don't put any of this shit on Paramount Plus. Don't put any of this on Peacock. I'm not paying for it. I will straight up not watch the game. Maybe I'll go to a bar so I can watch the game, but I am absolutely not.
Then you run the risk of the bar not having it. And that's the crazy thing. It's like,
which we did that happen to us. Yeah. That happened to us at one time at the beginning of the season during the Brazil game when it was on Peacock. And we went to this stupid bar that couldn't figure out how to get it on the TV. They had Peacock, but everybody there wanted to watch the game. And they were so pissed off that we kept asking to put the game on.
I was pissed off that you ordered a Cobb salad while I enjoyed
it was a
Caesar
sandwich. Salad. It was a Caesar salad.
Was, I think maybe it was a wedge.
It was not a Caesar salad. I order Caesar salads often.
I guarantee
that is a great pre-going out meal, so you don't feel
you were already
fat
out.
And gross.
You were already out.
Yeah, we were out there sitting at the. That's a perfect meal. That's also kind of a girl dinner. Bills, Jaguars next game. Bills -1.5. My bet that I like for this, I'm going Jags +1.5. The Jags have covered in each of their last 8 games. And also, speaking of two teams where one's kind of skidding to the finish line and the other one is surging, it's Jacksonville being the one that's surging and the Bills being the team that has looked awfully shaky. I just think that this game feels like a matchup where Josh Allen, we watch him make a bunch of miraculous plays, and he puts everything out there. He does so much for his team, but they fall short, and they can't win. They can't get it done because they have offensive limitations. I'm tired of believing that this Bills receiver room is going to emerge and someone's going to have a big game and someone is going to keep them afloat. It has been too straining to expect this team to survive. I'm done expecting Josh Allen to be able to keep them alive.
You're exactly right, and that is why I am leaning on my pick is Josh Allen anytime touchdown. You get that at -135, which is just that's so juicy. That's just a nice hit right there because in the playoffs he's going to activate. He's going to run one in. He's going to put it on his shoulders because his wide receiver room is terrible. I hate this game because I think you have it right. I really
known Jaguars hater Sean Anderson.
This is terrible for me because the Bills. I love the Bills. I love Josh Allen. I want them to be good. I love the Buffalo like fandom. I like how they get down. I like how their stadium is outdoors and they embrace the cold and they're tough. and they're going to lose to the freaking Jaguars. And it's just gutting for me and my narratives. And I'm not ready to give it up. I want the Bills to win. But you're right. Josh Allen does everything he can. I tease up his rushing yards over. Also, I think he's been saving it. I think the Buffalo offense has said, hey, we got to save all the hero stuff for the playoffs. We know you can do it. We know you can run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Don't do it in the regular season. We've already locked it up. Save that for Jacksonville. He will. I think I'm confident in actually both of these plays.
So you pitched you're breaking it down a lot of Josh Allen, but so you're going with Josh Allen anytime touchdown.
Touchdown score. It should be like minus 180. Like if we're being real about it, he's
bound to get one play where he lunges into the end zone and it's a short yardage situation, or he scrambles he has to do everything. He's gonna need a rushing touchdown.
If they get inside the 20, like everyone's a decoy. Like that's what the offense should be. It's like, hey, everyone decoy and fan out, and we're either gonna hand it off to James Cook, or Josh Allen's going to go back and almost pseudo quarterback draw this thing. Go do that. I mean, they could be running some of that quarterback counter or quarterback power that they like to run. Like they're going to bring some fun stuff back, which makes me upset because they're not going to move on and they're going to lose to the Jaguars. But I don't know. I mean, they're gonna let Josh Allen.
I can't wait for you to get all pissed off.
I will be all pissed off.
This game.
It's going to be toxic. I'm going to be real toxic this weekend about football. I'm excited about it.
Next game, Eagles versus the 49ers. Eagles, 4.5-point favorites. I'm going with Eagles minus 4.5 as my pick for this game. I way too excitedly bought into the 49ers after watching what they did against the Bears, and I was all freaking in. And then that stupid Seahawks game happened where they were exposed as frauds. They played like ass. They couldn't move the ball. And the reason why they couldn't move the ball, they're playing against a really good defense, really well-coached defense. You know who they're playing this week? A really good defense, a really well-coached defense. I think that Brock Purdy, as good as he's been in spurts this year, is going to be in trouble. I think that he is going to get chased after by this pass rush. He's going to have a tough time finding his receivers up against the secondary. I was debating, actually, there were a couple of picks that I was looking at in terms of trends and guys hitting over. I wanted to go with Juwan Jennings on his over on receptions, but then it dawned on me, why would I go up against this secondary? If he's matched up with Quinyon Mitchell, I would be really scared of him even touching his receiving yardage over, his receptions over. I think Brock Purdy is going to have to do too much to keep this team alive in this game, and I think it is going to be too much of a challenge for them to come out with this victory and for this to be a close win.
I don't like the favorite in this one. I do not like Eagles 4.5. I like 49ers getting 4.5 because while you say the Eagles defense is good and they have talent everywhere, they really do. Every layer of that defense, they got talent. Their offense is led by Mr. Proverb and Mr. Deep Talk, and that is not an explosive offense. He's doing too much reading, Joe. That's what he's doing. He is not doing enough scoring. He's not doing enough passing. That's Jalen Hurts. I'm not hating on him. I'm telling you, this guy is not that locked in. The offense isn't that locked in. Also, both of these teams' quarterbacks are kind of mid and they kind of suck. So what are you going to do in the playoffs? Are you going to lean on those bums? No. It's going to be a run fest. It's going to be Saquon Barkley and it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. And that doesn't lead a lot for big, let's widen the gap in points. They're going to keep it tight. It's going to be close enough. 49ers are going to just churn McCaffrey all game because their passing game could be completely depleted. I don't think George Kittle's getting open against Jihad Campbell or Walker or any of the guys that they got in the linebacker room. No shot. But they can run the ball with Purdy. Or no, with McCaffrey. Purdy's going to look like a scared duck. He did versus Seattle. But I'm not scared of this Eagles offense. I'm really not. I'm not scared of Jalen Hurts flipping the switch. He didn't flip it once this year. He didn't look like he was getting hot down the stretch. And look like, oh man, that offense is humming. They sat their starters in week 18. Mistake. You should have played them all. You should have seen if they could put up 50. I bet they couldn't. I bet they didn't want to put the starters in because they didn't want to show that their offense is so boo-boo butt cheeks. And 49ers, good defense.
What a great way of putting it. Boo-boo butt cheeks. Look, obviously I hate your pick because you're fading me on this.
You're fading me.
Why would you spend all that time speaking negatively? Well, I gave my pick first, so that's not how that works. Why would you spend all that time speaking so negatively of the 49ers offense and then proceed to turn around and go against the Eagles?
Because they're the same team. Because they're the same team, and the same team
plays. I disagree.
They don't win by 5.
I've got one team that just won a Super Bowl. and a team that would inexplicably suddenly go on a run with a wide open NFC. That's what the Eagles are. I think that this is a team that's been going through the motions, and I think that they're absolutely going to just suddenly, you talk about turning it on. If there's a team that I'm expecting to turn it on, it's going to be the Eagles. As much as I hate to admit that as a Giants fan.
The 49ers are a machine, man. And while they have some problems facing Seattle, because Seattle
the Eagles
just has
are not.
number,
The Eagles are not.
The Eagles had an inflatable bunny in their locker room
they're
for
not,
1 week, and then they had to kill it because they sucked.
They're not
so bad.
the 49ers, I think, are too banged up across the board that this is where it all comes to full head. Just a stinker of a performance. They lose by 10, and then the Eagles move on.
You're getting a pretty full head over there with that tone you're talking
about.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Tell you what,
deal with it.
49ers handled business. They could lose, but
they handled business last week when you and I both were so adamant about the fact that they were going to cover.
That was a Darnold thing. We bet against Darnold because we didn't think that
I ain't bet against Hurts and Sirianni. You kidding me? I'd be more daunted by them. In a playoff setting? Are you kidding me?
I'll happily do it.
You're an idiot.
Send them Eagles fans home sad.
You're an idiot. All right. Patriots -3.5 against the Chargers. This game's interesting because you've got If Man and you got Can Man.
Oh, yeah.
And we're trying to figure out who the true young elite quarterback is in the AFC. There's been some supporters for If Man. A lot of people have been saying, well, if he had a good offensive line, who knows how good this team would be.
They're calling him a sixth-year senior with all the other quarterbacks in the group that haven't won a playoff game. And it's just all the second-year guys, and it's the sixth-year senior Herbert.
I think he's actually not that far off in age.
I don't think so either.
As the other guys. How old is he? He's 27 years old, so he's our age. Jesus, that makes me want to throw up. All right, my pick for this under 46.5 for this game. The Chargers have the third lowest hit rate on the over on the road. They are really bad at hitting the over when they're traveling. I just think that here's what's going to happen with this game, man.
Oh, no.
This game's going to be low scoring in the first half. You're going to have 2 quick touchdowns in the second half, and the Patriots are just going to hold a nice 14-point lead, and the under's going to hit. I really believe this is the type of a situation going up against a Mike Vrabel-led team with that atrocious offensive line that every game I am watching Justin Herbert getting blasted, hit after hit. I know that this isn't exactly a scary pass rush for the Patriots, but this is a game where they just get after Herbert. This is a total Vrabel moment. Send pressure and be super aggressive. That is a see a deer and absolutely unleash the dogs after him. I think that this game is going to be low scoring in the sense, it's not going to be low scoring and tight to a degree. I think the Chargers are going to be kept off the board for the most part, and we end up hitting the under in that degree.
I love Patriots 3.5, giving 3.5 in this matchup. They're getting Will Campbell back, which is nice because the Chargers have been getting after the quarterback decently, 11th best sack, but getting defense. Additionally, If Man has a bunch of what ifs at offensive line. I'm sorry. Let me move on.
I'm not giving you a response.
You shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Nobody should. The response should be, "You're fired, Sean." That's the response I should get.
I don't know if I have that power.
Oh no, you definitely don't. But the Geek team, that should be the phone call tomorrow. The Patriots, fourth best scoring defense, so that helps your under. They're going to keep the Chargers off the board, and they get the 9th best pass defense in yards per game, which works well for the Chargers, who don't have a receiver that went over 800 yards this year. I thought they were. What happened to Ladd? What happened to Keenan coming back? And what about Oronde Gadsden? Like, people keep on trying to make
that one again.
No, I don't. I've been struggling with it all year.
Oronde Gadsden.
Yeah, but there's a second D, Gadsden.
I'm pretty sure it's just Gadsden. Oronde Gadsden.
I'm telling you,
Ryan Roberts would know.
I'm telling you, it's not.
I shouldn't be trusted with pronunciations, by the way, because I'm atrocious at them. Sorry, continue.
Patriots 3.5. They have every advantage over the Chargers in this one, and I think the quarterback. It's like you used to be able to make an argument for the Chargers and having an exciting young quarterback and just be like, oh, this guy's so good, like they're going to have the edge. Doesn't have the edge over Drake May. He's at best on even playing field with Drake May, which I'm not saying a lot for the guy. So I'm happy to watch the Patriots go ahead and smoke the Chargers and watch them revamp next year and be the most exciting team until they all get hurt again.
Yeah, and then the next year we get to week 10 and we get to say, well, if Justin Herbert still had Ladd McConkey, or if his defense was playing better, they would be the best team in the NFL. I can't wait for
best bit going in football.
I hope they trade for somebody big. I really hope that they go and make some crazy trade for someone big in the offseason. Then it would make the if saga even greater.
They should trade for JJ. Send Herbert to Minnesota. Just do a straight up swap. Give Harbaugh exactly what he wanted.
How would that one work?
Maybe we get if man out of that if program.
No.
Program. Who am I? Herb Street's team.
Seriously. All right, last game. Texans -3 against the Steelers. I'm going with Texans -3 in this situation. Dude, this Steelers team, I am not bought in. What, are we supposed to be excited that they won because their Ravens kicker missed a field goal? I know that DK Metcalf's coming back, but my goodness, come on. Look, I am really bought in to this Texans defense. This Texans pass rush is insanely good. I feel like throughout the season, when the Steelers have been challenged by good defenses, they have really, really struggled. Heck, the last time that they played the Browns, they looked like a complete and utter mess, and they lost a game that they weren't supposed to. So I feel pretty strongly that we're going to get the Texans winning this game and covering that 3-point spread.
Yeah, it's the safe play. The trajectory shows that this is when, the Steelers season ends. You get in the playoffs, winning season, you continue the streak, and then you lose in the wild card game, and everyone's upset with Tomlin. And then maybe you think they could possibly even fire Tomlin after.
Dude, how funny would that be that Giants fans were like pitching him as the next coach, and they were also pitching Harbaugh, and then both of them are on the table and available? Oh my God, Giants fans wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
I wouldn't fire him if he lost to the Texans, by the way. The Texans are a really good team. They should be 3-point favorites. They should probably be like 5.5-point favorites, honestly. They're really good, and they've been on an absolute heater. They haven't lost down the stretch. They're just really, really solid. I like that you mentioned the pass rush, because that's where my bet lies. That's Will Anderson Jr. to record a sack, -102. He is a tremendous pass rusher. And all year he's been splitting sacks with Danielle Hunter and that vicious defense that they have in Houston. It was just awesome. But this is the playoffs now, and he's going to have a big, bright stage. And that dude, I don't know if there's a player in the NFL that looks like he's been attached to a charge battery more than Will Anderson Jr. Like someone that you can actually feel the electricity radiating off of through the TV screen. He is going to get a sack and destroy Aaron Rodgers. Like if it's a clean hit, I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers like, I'm not going back in this game. I can't take this hit again. It could be instant retirement hit if he gets a clean sack. But what's really going to happen is it's going to be none of the Steelers wide receivers can get open because they stink, and it's just DK Metcalf. And then the pocket's going to collapse, and it's going to collapse. Will Anderson Jr. is going to reach over the tackle and bump back inside, gets his sack, and then it hits. So I think the Texans pass rush is probably the best unit that's going to be on the field all night. I like investing my money there on them.
I understand too that the pass rush, or so the offensive line for the Steelers is really good, but at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is not really very mobile at the current moment. He can't move very well. So for Will Anderson to register a sack against the most sitting duck out of any quarterback left in the playoffs, I would willingly invest in Anderson being able to pull that off.
Rodgers' second least mobile quarterback in the league, I'd say. Least mobile is Kirk.
You think that Kirk is
1,000,000,000%? If there's any pressure on Kirk, he's not moving. There's no fleability. I'm not trying to turn this into Kirk, but I mean,
you always find ways to crap all over your boy.
Here's what I'll do. You're
going to need him to start the season next year.
I'll give you Kirk for Dexter Lawrence right now. Straight up.
Why would we need Kirk?
I'll give you Kirk for come on, take him.
Why would the Giants need Kirk?
You need a quarterback, don't you?
No, okay. I'm not letting you rage bait me